Ah, yes, the age-old question. It's not the first time it's been asked, and it's not the last time it's going to be asked. And there's been plenty of other channels that have already given some wholesome answers about it, but that still doesn't stop people from picking up a 350Z with 240,000 miles that's missing a rear bumper and has in the ad that it's never been drifted. Really?
Are you sure?
Are you sure about that? Jay, you really sure? Okay, and I don't believe you. I don't, okay? And it's not worth 10K. I'm sorry. Either way, there's a lot that goes into answering this specific question, especially when you look at it from just a wheels, tire, and suspension lens, because that's kind of what we do. I'm Alex, F.I on Instagram, and today we're gonna be talking about if you should actually modify a high mileage car, and also, is it worth it? Question mark? Exclamation point. And if you're just jumping into this, hello, don't forget to subscribe so we can keep making banging videos like this. And if you're looking for aftermarket wheels, tires, or suspension, be sure to hit us up over at fitmentindustries.com, where we literally have everything. And if you're watching this in like February or March skis, there's like an airlift sale going on right now. It's pretty banging. And of course, if you're looking to win a free set of forged multi-piece ESR wheels, there'll be a description link below because we partnered with ESR to do that. Okay, pretty awesome. And the gallery's cool too. We pretty much have everything except some of those weird UK cars, okay? Anyway, when taking a look at finding an answer for this age-old question of should you modify a high mileage car, what am I looking at? I don't know. It's important to look at the surface level, and the answer should probably be, oh, you sure, bud? Because the simple answer is that you should probably stay away from it, actually. And if you don't know your way around the car you're about to buy, you're gonna have even a worse time.
However,
high mileage doesn't inherently mean skip. It just means that it'll require a little bit of extra love and attention. And here is why. Higher mileage car purchases should always be immediately followed by maintenance repairs. Generally speaking, the more miles a car has on it, the more it's been driven. The more it's been driven, the more owners it's generally had. The more owners it's generally had, the more times that there's a chance that it's messed something up. Repairs are important. Maintenance, repairs. Say it with me.
Maintenance, repairs.
I eat pears. Shout out to all the
repairs.
I know that replacing tie rods isn't exciting or a timing chain is lame, but if you're trying to ball out with a higher mileage vehicle, you must focus on those items first and make sure that they're done right. Otherwise, you're gonna end up with a car that has nothing but issue after issue. And cars with higher mileage isn't inherently bad, but what is bad is that high mileage cars aren't repaired and maintained correctly. They end up just blowing a hole into your wallet. And depending on which car you buy is a direct relationship to the odds of those things actually happening or being done. Buying a high mileage G8 with 10% tires left and rubber still dripping off the rear bumper, you're probably gonna wanna have us check out the last time they did a full system diagnostics, because odds are they probably did not, okay? Higher mileage cars are a bit finicky as well and require just a bit more love. If you're okay with that, then sure, snag one. But repairs aren't the only thing that you gotta be aware of or concerned about if you're gonna be able to modify it. At the end of the day, when you try to buy a high mileage car, it's usually to get into something super neat, and then you wanna modify it. Shouldn't do that. Think about modifying a car with 60,000 miles, which is not bad, relatively new for most tuner cars, but for some reason, there's always some funky stuff that happens at 60K. That exhaust hanger is hanging just a little bit
to the left.
Guys, you get it. Or the under tray is missing a few bolts here or there when you're trying to trim your fender liner for new wheels. You got to fitmentindustries.com. Now imagine when it's on a 200,000 mileage car. You've got zip ties, super glue, wood screws, self-tappers, and just about every wrong piece imaginable hanging, swooping, leaning, or missing from the car. It makes the modification process and everything about it just more difficult. And it's extremely common. High mileage cars are a bit like old houses. They're just
worn.
And even with maintenance being considered and up to date, that won't fix the fact that some of those parts didn't have a maintenance schedule and they're just slowly deteriorating and rolling out into affinity, because that happens. Sometimes they just don't last. Suspension is iconic for issues with high mileage cars, especially when you're doing a coilover setup swap. Because it's a wear and tear area of your car, it's exposed to the elements and it's just not fun. It's like when you have the tap and die set out and you walk out into the garage, your buddy has one of those, just stay away. Wheels and tires aren't huge on a high mileage car. After all, those parts can can be replaced without much of a big issue, which is why so many people jump to them as their first modification on a car, especially a high mileage car. But suspension can be a little bit of a tricky boy. As mileage in cars increase, the experience that surrounds the car must match it, especially as an owner. Knowing your way around these common issues or worn odd items is incredibly important if you plan to have fun with the car that you buy. Doing research, working on it yourself, and understanding that the car won't be running 24/7 are some of the key things you'll want to remember if you pick up a higher mileage car. Not only that, but asking yourself why you're buying it is also important, because if it's to save a few $1,000s on a $20,000 purchase, you may find yourself losing that money saved up in random parts, repairs, and trips to the mechanic shop, because lo and behold, self-tappers do not do a good job at keeping your intercooler tubing piping in a straight place. And if it's because of the rarity, the parts that will need replacement will be expensive and having a wait time that makes the line at the DMV feel like a cakewalk. If it's because you're tired of looking for that one clean, low mileage car, well then that's a risk that you're gonna have to make. Can you modify a high mileage car? And the answer is, well, son, absolutely, okay? There's some absolute banging cars in the gallery that have some pretty intense miles, and people drive all over the time with no issues and don't sweat it and they don't care. It's 250,000 miles and it still does a fantastic job. Just remember, just because they had that experience does not mean you will. All right. Do you think it's possible to modify a high mileage car? Absolutely. It's just, like I said before, playing life on a little bit of a hard mode. What do you guys think? Let us know if you think it's worth it or not. And if you have a high mileage car that's been modified, tell us what it is in the comment below. And of course, if you had a good time with it or not. Be honest though, don't lie to me. I can sense it, all right? And if you're looking for aftermarket wheels, tires, and suspension, be sure to check out fitmentindustries.com, where we have everything from rotiform to work to ESR to airlift to coilovers, which is what helps us keep doing things like this. I'm Alex from Fitment Industries, and we will see you later. Peace.